Mom, panted Jenna. Are we there yet? Her cheeks were rosy from exertion, her ponytail bobbing as she pedaled her bike alongside her mother's. Almost, sweetie, replied Mrs. Castillo, glancing back with a smile. Just up this hill, and then it's all downhill to the picnic spot. Her younger sister, Lily, trailed behind, her bike wheels crunching over the gravel path. But what's that? She asked, pointing to the arch of ivy that had appeared at the top of the hill. Mrs. Castillo stopped and wiped her brow. Looks like a shortcut to me. What do you say, girls? Jenna's eyes widened. A shortcut to where? To adventure, of course, said their mother with a wink. She steered her bike through the archway, and the sisters followed, their tires disappearing into a tunnel of green. The moment they emerged, the world changed. The sunlight grew softer, the air sweeter, and the trees grew taller, their branches stretching to an impossible sky painted with swirls of pastel. The path beneath their wheels turned to a carpet of moss so thick and vibrant it seemed to breathe. They had entered a realm untouched by the chaos of the city, a place where the only sounds were the distant calls of unseen birds and the occasional giggle of a woodland creature. The sisters pedaled faster, their eyes wide with wonder as they took in the sights. They passed a clearing where a group of rabbits, each wearing a tiny hat and carrying a parasol, held a tea party around a toadstool table. A fox in a waistcoat nodded at them politely as they rode by. They saw a bridge made of rainbows arcing over a stream, and a treehouse that looked like it had been plucked from the pages of a fairy tale book. Look, Jenna, exclaimed Lily, pointing to a field of flowers that danced in unison. Each bloom was a different color, and their combined movement created a mesmerizing pattern across the meadow. Jenna's jaw dropped. This is like nothing I've ever seen before, their mother chuckled. Welcome to Enchantia, my dears, a place where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. In the heart of the woods, they found a glade where a feast lay spread out for them. There were sandwiches that tasted like stardust, berries that sparkled like jewels, and a fountain that flowed with a drink that tasted like every flavor of ice cream mixed together. They ate and drank, their laughter echoing through the trees. As the afternoon grew long, they decided to explore further. They followed a path of glittering stones that led to a village where the houses were made of gingerbread, and the residents were as kind as the witch's candy in Hansel and Gretel had been wicked. They met a unicorn who offered them a ride, and they accepted without hesitation. They soared over the treetops, the wind rushing through their hair as they marveled at the beauty of the land below. They saw waterfalls that ended in pools of liquid rainbows and a castle made of clouds. The unicorn took them to meet the Queen of Enchantia, a regal figure who looked as though she had been sculpted from moonlight. She greeted them warmly and asked if they had any wishes. Jenna wished for the strength to conquer her fears, and Lily wished for the ability to bring happiness to those around her. Their mother, her eyes misty with joy, wished for their bond to never be broken. The queen nodded, granting their wishes with a wave of her hand. But remember, dear ones, she cautioned, with great power comes great responsibility. Use your gifts wisely. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the woods in a warm golden glow, they knew it was time to leave. With a heavy heart, they said their goodbyes and pedaled back through the ivy archway. The moment they were back on the gravel path, the fantasy land disappeared behind them, leaving only the memories of their magical adventure. The ride home was quiet, each lost in thought. When they reached their suburban street, Mrs. Castillo looked at her daughters with a knowing smile. You know, sometimes the most amazing things are just a bike ride away. Jenna and Lily looked at each other, their eyes shining with excitement. Can we come back tomorrow? Lily asked. Of course, said their mother. But remember, Enchantia only opens its doors to those who believe in the magic of the everyday. And so, they did. Every weekend, the Castillo family would set off on their bikes, seeking new adventures in the woods. And every time they returned, they brought a little bit of that magic back with them, weaving it into the fabric of their lives. The whispers of the leaves and the giggles of the wind reminded them that wonder could be found anywhere, as long as they looked with open hearts and minds.